to the Grown Women Real Talk show. My name is Yolanda Lewis, host of Grown Women Real Talk, and today's topic is blurred lines, to flirt or not to flirt. We have two special guests to join us in this discussion. We have Chevelle Douglas, welcome.
Thank you.
You betcha. And we have Althea Dijon. Welcome, 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 ladies.
Thank you.
So with today's culture, the temperature of the dating landscape has changed tremendously. I would even say within the past decade. And so what I want to talk about today is whether or not there should be flirting. There's a lot of everything has a sexual connotation to it, whether it's social media, commercials, the whole nine. So it sets a certain tone when it comes to actually wanting to get into a relationship. It changes some things, and that's what I want to talk about today. So my first question to you guys is, what do you think about what it means to actually date in today's culture?
Wow, that's tough. I think that the biggest thing for me is just to be myself, because I think that so many people are always trying to be somebody else or be overly sexual.
Sure.
So when you're just yourself, and you come across as
Right.
just a regular person, not trying to put on, I think that speaks volumes to people, and people remember you.
Right. What is your
I
feedback?
agree. I just feel like sometimes people want to always put a title on something, so
Right.
it almost locks you into something before even getting into the relationship.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
That's interesting.
And now you mentioned about being yourself. Is that even possible? So I'll set the stage for you, right? When you first meet Boo or Bae,
Whatever they, you meet your boo bae, and and he's handsome because that's the first thing you see, and obviously he's duly attracted to you. That's the first thing he sees. How do you then present yourself to him?
Well, I don't even know if that's even possible initially,
Okay.
right? Because there's always something that
Let's
attracts
talk
you
about
to
that.
him or her.
Yes.
Hey, I like that jacket you have on. You working it.
Right.
So it's difficult. It's definitely difficult. I think if you know who you are as a person, then it's much easier. So for me, I'm kind of at a point in my life where I could care less about what people think.
Sure.
So I'm kind of going to say what I want to say. If
Right.
you don't like it,
Yeah.
you go on my business.
Right. Now, as it relates to flirting, right? So with flirting, the objective is to I don't want to say keep the other person's attention, but it's definitely to get it.
Right.
So how would you say flirting fits into building a relationship, even at the point of dating? And then I want to talk about too, how flirting impacts, let's say you marry that person. Do you then stop the flirting with each other? Do you continue to do it with other people? What do those dynamics look like in your mind? Real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk.
With me, flirting, it almost comes off every single day because people, they confuse my niceness for flirting
Interesting.
all the time,
Interesting.
women and men.
Right. Right.
And so I'm like, no, I'm not flirting. So definitely the signs always have to be there. But I think communication and respect, when you have those two things,
Right.
the flirting will continue. Even during marriage, it will continue.
Sure.
And it's like, I want this. Continue giving it to me. And it has to.
Now, how do you manage? How does a woman manage that flirtatious nature, if you will, if she's not even flirting? I've actually had that. Not now. I've been married 14 years, so I only flirt with my boo. But when I did date, that was what people got from me just because I smiled.
Exactly.
Just because I smiled. So what exactly, maybe I should ask you that. What is flirting?
Well, see, for me, I'm a very methodical person. I think a lot, I observe a lot. So my flirting has a purpose. So when I'm at the pharmacy, I want something for free. So maybe I'm flirting a little bit. But I never go overboard. Like, I think today I got $1 off when I was purchasing something, and I was like, oh, I love it. So it has to serve a purpose.
Right. You got to know your woman powers, right?
I'm going to use them. I'm try. It doesn't always work. I tried it in court.
Right.
Did not work. But it's a learning thing.
Right. I love it. What's been your experience with flirting outside of people assuming that you're flirting when you're not? How do you, actually, let me ask you that. How do you differentiate? So when you do want to flirt, how does that look different from when people assume you're flirting from just a smile?
with just by normal niceness, and they already think that it's flirting,
Right.
it's intentional flirting,
Okay.
they're gonna know.
Okay.
They're definitely gonna know, and they're gonna feel it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna keep their interest because I want their interest.
Right.
So I think I'll probably go above and beyond and do extra things.
Right.
And then, oh no, I'm not flirting.
Right.
But I really am.
Right,
You know,
right,
so
right.
I think it's just knowing what you want. Just
Right.
like Chevelle said,
Right.
just like if I want $1 off, you know, you might bat your eyes a little bit more.
Right.
You might smile
right.
even harder.
Right.
You know, so it depends on what your angle is and
Right.
what your intentions
Right.
are.
Right.
And so from once I know that, then I can continue.
Right. Now our culture embraces that, the whole flirtatious flirt mode,
Mhm.
nature. Is it right?
I think it's natural. We're human. This is grown women real talk, right?
Right, right.
I think if we want to flirt, we should flirt. There's no problem with
So
it.
so with no boundaries. So it doesn't matter what type of relationship.
Wait,
Okay.
there is
Okay.
boundaries
Okay.
are very
All right. Well,
important.
let's talk about that because we're talking about the blurred lines to flirt or not to
Right.
flirt. So talk to me about where the
Mhm.
line is, because with social culture today, the lines are blurred. And
It's a
people
little hazy.
have all types of relationships. And with our Grown and Real Talk platform being about relational health, it's important for women to know what the landscape is, number one. And number two, how they need to maintain their relational health in the landscape, because we can't necessarily change it. You can impact it and
Right.
influence it and end up single for a long time if that's what you want, right?
That's true.
But it's, how do we do that? So is it right, and where are those lines at? Or where should they be as well?
I think that we as women, though, we have to respect ourselves.
Yes.
Because sometimes we go, or I've seen women go
Sure.
way overboard to get somebody's attention.
Right. What's
And
overboard? Give me an example.
Overly sexual.
What does that mean?
Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing good. I can see you like me. Ha ha
Oh,
ha.
right. Okay.
Let me grab them in the whatever,
Right,
Donald Trump style.
Right.
That's
Right.
just too much, and you're never going to be respected by that. Even
Right.
if you get his attention and
Right.
maybe he's
You won't
interested,
keep it.
you won't keep it.
So we will always look at you in that manner.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Always.
Absolutely.
So it's a balance so that you can maintain respect for yourself and still be able to get whatever it is that you want.
Right.
And it's a delicate balance, but
It
just
is.
don't go over.
I like that word balance.
Yeah.
And then my favorite word is boundaries.
Yes.
She asked, is it right? I think there are boundaries in dating. There's less boundaries, but when it comes to marriage,
Here we go.
there better be some more boundaries.
I don't want
my
husband.
I was just going to ask you. You don't want your husband because that's how he got you. That's how.
That's right.
What about men who I won't say bat their eyes, but they use their manpower to
Right.
get what they want as well. When should they should stop then because they're married to you? I mean, what does that mean?
No, I think earlier, like Chevelle was saying, if there's a purpose, if there's an intention, and me and my husband or my spouse or my boyfriend or whoever I'm dating, we have an understanding and a good friendship, and say we're going out to dinner and we want a little discount, you better do what you need to do.
Exactly. Don't put them out
So
there.
if
it's
the
okay.
waitress, okay, so let's play with that scenario. Okay, so you're at dinner, the check is coming. Now the waitress has been catering to your baby
Right.
the whole night. Oh, what do you need? Is there anything else I can? You're okay with that?
Yes. Because I know he's going home with me, and we have an understanding.
Okay.
But if you don't have that understanding or those boundaries, then it's a problem.
Right.
So as long as there's open communication about it. Do you see what that girl is doing? Oh, she thinks she's slick.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But we both gonna play this. Order me another mascara.
Right.
Tell me how to put
Right.
down the tab.
I do it all the time.
I like that. That keeps it safe. But communication in that situation and any situation in terms of relationship, whether it's a marital relationship, dating, and even the relationship with yourself, God and self, communication is everything. And to that point, I think that's what helps to define those blurred lines. One last question. I want to ask you ladies, in terms of motherhood and dating. So let's say you've been married, right? I want to help that sister out. Let's say you've been married and then you are no longer married for whatever the reason, and now you have a child. How do you date? And how do you make sure the lines are not blurred in that scenario? Because flirting isn't too much of an option as, well, I wouldn't say it's not an option, but I would say that it may not come as natural
Right.
because you're in mommy mode.
Exactly.
So talk to me about what the landscape for that looks like in terms of relationships in today's social culture.
Well, I'll say, I'll put my lawyer hat on for this
Okay.
one because I've never been married, but I'll say that from my perspective,
Yes.
keep the children out of it
Mhm.
initially. Okay, maybe the first year, the first
Sure.
6 months until it gets really serious because it's still fresh.
Right.
Dad's gonna be mad that you're dating,
Right.
bringing my child
Right.
around someone new,
Right.
and it's just unnecessary
Right.
conflict that typically the children bear on their shoulders.
That's good.
So, as a lawyer, I would say, don't be introducing your kids to people initially. Give it some time. Let the relationship really grow first.
Now, what if you feel you're in love?
I don't know.
I would still say I would agree
Yeah.
having that amount of time. And well, I have an 8-year-old son. I was married and divorced,
Okay.
and I am dating. But because it's just been me and my son, we
Right.
communicate very well. You said communication is very important
Absolutely.
in any relationship.
Absolutely.
So even with my son, I communicate with him. I'll say, Mommy's going on a date.
Right.
And he says, well, is he nice? Does
Right.
he treat you good? Because he's protecting me
Right.
as a male already, but as my child,
Right.
he's like, I'm ready for a family. So he encourages me to date.
Right.
But I think it's so important to make sure that they understand what you're doing and make sure you have your balance and your me time.
Right.
I speak to a lot of mothers all the time.
I
And
love
as an author, I'm always trying to express to people,
I love
find your ways out. And sometimes that's the number one thing in their problem is, I don't have me time. But with dating, you need your me time.
Still.
So you know what I
Still.
have? I have a long list of babysitters. So that I can have that me time,
Right.
whether I need to go get my hair done,
Right.
so I can be prepared for the date.
I love that.
I have to have that because you are a mother, you're going to give all your time to your child, but they're going to grow up and then they're going to start dating.
And then what?
And then what?
And you'll be by yourself.
And,
by
and
yourself.
then I'm alone, so I said, no, I'm going on a date.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Even I'll go and date myself. I love going to a restaurant, sitting at a bar,
I love it.
and having my glass of whatever and
Right.
good food, and I'm just enjoying myself. There'll be people there, and I'll just have conversations.
Sure.
Maybe I'll do a little flirting. You just
Sure.
never know, but it's just all innocent and fun.
And I love that
Yeah.
because it goes back to your first point where you have to get to know you have to know yourself so that you know what your limitations are, what your boundaries are, and how far you really are going to go with the flirt mode. I love that. Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing. And to our audience, I want you guys to remember a few special points from our episode concerning blurred lines. Number one, know yourself. Before you go and flirt, you never know what the intentions of the other person are, and they may not know yours either. So know yourself, know what you bring to the table, even in that flirtatious mode. Be intentional, as our guest shared. Number two, communication. Whether you have a family, you're a mom, whatever it is, make sure that you're communicating your wants, your likes, your dislikes, and keeping those boundaries clear so that you are able to define what those blurred lines are, and then they won't be so blurry. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Wow, what a great episode we shared today. I want to give our guests an opportunity to share with you how you can connect with them further. So, Althea, please share.
I just want to first say thank you so much, Yolanda, for having me
you're
today.
so
Such a great experience.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, my name is Althea Dijon, and I'm an author of an upcoming book called Loophole Overcoming the Odds. It's just basically about how I was diagnosed with lupus and how I've overcome so many things in that. And I want you to connect with me. Please go to my website. It's altheadijon.com. And also my Facebook, the same thing, Althea Dijon. Thank you so much.
And thank you, Yolanda, so much.
Absolutely.
My name is Attorney Chevelle Douglas. I have a family law practice here in Atlanta. I not only represent individuals in court, but I also teach you how to represent yourself in court. So if you need more information, you can reach me on my website, www.douglaslawgroup.com, or I'm also on Instagram. I love reaching out to people there at Chevelle Douglas.
Awesome. You guys were great. Thank you so much for coming. It has been a pleasure. And thank you for watching. You guys are rock stars. Thank you.